Hello everyone. Welcome. I'm Jon Binnie, your spiritual psychic mentor here in Scotland, and it's my honor today to take you through channeled messages from Mother Gaia, the very soul of our planet, my spirit guides from across the universe, to connect in with Soul, the soul of the sun, Luna, of the moon, and many more galactic beings, including the Galactic Federation and other councils of light. It is my honor to work with them. Oh, and Archangels, can't forget about them as well. It's my honor to connect with them, to share such powerful messages. And I know Gaia wanted to share a message with you as soon as we created a safe space. It's exciting news. So please join me as we go ahead and create the safe space. And just to explain a little bit about what I do. So when I create a safe space, this allows us to open up our hearts and receive messages in a pure, clear, clean, and ethical manner. And it allows me to channel them in and for you to be able to receive them yourself. And remember, when we're creating these safe spaces, you also get to invite in your spirit guides into that safe space. So perhaps your spirit guides will also offer you guidance. Perhaps they'll help you with feelings of sensations within you, perhaps outside of you, within your safe space, that allow you to better integrate the messages that you receive. And by that I mean, accept them, not sure about them, reject them. You get to choose. Okay, I've also got my laptop below us. I've got your questions, so please keep your questions coming. I've had over 230 questions from you since we started this in August, so it's so cool. Please keep coming. Your questions are just so magical. Just check out the link in the description. It's at the very top of the description, or also, when I remember, I put it into the pinned comment in this video as well. Okay, let's get started with the safe space. So please join me as we take a deep breath in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out what no longer serves our highest good, nice and loud. Breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out any fear, shame, anxiety, or pain, nice and loud. And breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out any remaining low vibration energy or emotion, nice and loud. And continue to breathe deeply and calmly as it feels right for you. Focus your attention now on the very center of your heart, where your golden divine spark of your soul enters your human form. And from the center of your heart, extend a cord of golden light up through the top of your head, up into the sky and up into the stars, all the way up through the highest frequencies and dimensions of this universe, until you reach the highest dimension of the source of love of this universe. And there, connecting your light cord into the highest dimension of source, feeling into that oneness, unity, and unconditional love. Remain connected into source and extend your light cord down to the stars and sky, back down to the top of your head and into your heart once more. And now, from the center of your heart, extend a cord of light downwards, down through the base of your spine and deep into the earth, all the way down through the layers of the planet, going deeper and deeper until you reach the very core of Mother Earth. And there, connecting your light cord into Mother Gaia's crystalline heart. We send Mother Gaia so much love at this time. Allow her to send her love back. Remain connected into Gaia's beautiful heart and extend your light cord back up through the layers of the planet, up through the root of your spine and into your heart once more. And now, together with the light of source above, Mother Gaia below, and your own light, expand out your golden bubble of protective light to surround you, about 2 meters out to each side, above and below you, in front and behind you. and set the intention that only energies and entities with your permission, your highest good love and compassion can see you, access you, or exist within this space or within you. All other energies and entities must leave immediately. And into your safe space, invite in your spirit guides, your higher self. Invite in Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source, and Gaia. And ask at this time for their guidance, clearing, healing, protection, and assistance with the integration of today's session. And now, through space and time, I create a golden protective bubble around all of us in this session today, all of us who access this video across space and time and who have the highest good love and compassion in their hearts. And I set the intention that only energies and entities with my permission and the highest good love and compassion of all can see us, access us, or exist in this session space or within us. All other energies and entities must leave immediately. Inviting in my spirit guides, my higher self, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source and Gaia, Sol and Luna, and also my ancestors. And with this, I'd like to set the intention for today's session. We are here to assist all of those attracted to watching today's video whenever they engage with it, with messages that will help them and practices that will help them on their healing journeys, their life journeys, and seeking answers through these beautiful channeled messages from beautiful beings whom which I have explicitly invited in. Okay, but first, some coffee. 1 second. Okay, so let's connect in with Mother Gaia. And I'll just introduce this message from her by saying I received this during my morning meditation. And you know me, I love meditating, and I meditate every day. And I always ask my spirit guides, my higher self, Source and Gaia for messages. And this message was during my safe space creation, just like we did when I connected into the very heart of Mother Gaia. And she began to show me more detail about what's going on inside of her and what's changing within her now. And yeah, it's really exciting. And I knew in that moment, I received the message gladly. And whilst I could repeat the message, I feel that this safe space and that you all deserve to receive a message from her that is more expansive. And I'm so glad I did this video today and not yesterday because, well, maybe I wouldn't have received that message. And also, I don't know if you can tell my energy, I just feel so much more rested. I had a nice, lovely day off yesterday. And it's my birthday weekend. So Monday is my birthday. And so it's this lovely feeling of rest and receiving. If you could count this video as work, this is the only work I'm doing this weekend. Okay, so let me connect in with Mother Gaia, and I'm going to offer to her if she'd like to channel any messages directly through me. And just feeling Mother Gaia come up through my feet and into my body. Dear souls, children of Earth, these are exciting times for us all, transformational times. What occurs within me at this time is a change that I have been holding off for some time until I felt that enough of you were ready to receive. Let me first start with a resonance that may assist you. And this is the message that when mothers, human mothers on earth, are preparing to birth children and the child is already awakened. The child may have come down their soul from higher vibrations, higher dimensions, and journeyed through lifetimes to come down to earth, to be conceived and birthed within their human mother. The high vibration of the child often triggers within the very heart of the mother an awakening during the term of pregnancy. This beautiful high vibration match from the baby's heart to the mother continues to create alignment and rapid ascension within the mother if she is not there already. And so as the mother rises to meet the child and match them in vibration, at the point of birth, there is a beautiful frequency match, synergy and alignment. The very first physical embrace that the mother gives the child and vice versa, placing the baby upon their heart, they are able to receive in that glorious moment of creation each other at this beautiful, matching, loving energy and frequency of their hearts. And from that moment on, they never forget how it feels when they were first held, when they were first born. Even if they cannot remember the conscious memory, their hearts never forget. I want to take you back now to myself, Mother Gaia. I am the mother of all living things on earth. I may not directly be your biological mother. Do know that my mothering frequency supports the very womb of this planet. Deep within me resides my heart chakra. At this time, deep within the core, the very center of planet Earth, my body, I am birthing this new version of me. You may have heard that I already exist across third and fourth and fifth dimensions and even beyond. This is true. And this is because of what I do now. What I am doing right now. Right now at this time, I am opening my heart fully. My heart is a lotus flower, giant compared to humans, and it is opening gently, each petal softly opening. The love energy within me is building stronger and stronger. This is the very connection that I have with Source directly, and also my heart connection with my Father, Soul. Soul, the Sun, continues to achieve greater and greater frequencies, love energies spilling and pouring from the center of Soul's heart. This love energy, just as a mother and a child, or in this case, a father and daughter, our hearts are aligning. Feel my heart at this time begin its blossom. As I open my heart, as I open up to receive more love, I am rising up to meet the frequency match of many of you now. This third dimensional earth, I am opening my heart. Please join me as you relax and open your heart at this time if you choose to. Please do not fear this love. Please do not fear all of me or all of you. We simply are. This expansion of love energy is raising us up out of fear and letting go as gently as possible, and yet with the necessary force and purging and releasing to let go of anything that no longer serves us. The petals, the stalks, the roots, anything that has died needs to be let go and released. And as I release this deep beneath the earth, I offer this gentle rising of love. This love energy is not to cause harm to any beings across the earth. You have heard me and Jon for months speaking of great purges of deep energy, and this will continue. However, now is also the time to bring in more love, an abundance of love, a richness with love. Please let go of your paradigms and your concepts and your programs that no longer serve you. Let go of money. Let go of governments. Let go of constricted organizations. Let go of paradigms that don't serve you, because if they truly work, they will come back. If they don't work, if they don't survive your love, then they will simply fall away as they no longer reach your frequency match. Feel into the love for yourself, your families, and to love your neighbors and your family, your human family across this whole world. I give you this gift now of my love. I give it unconditionally. I love you no matter what you do to me, no matter what you do to each other. I am always here to love you. My heart is always open for you, and I offer my heart as a place as your home. Just as that very first moment that you were birthed by your mother into this planet, at that moment I became your mother also. And for many of you, this was your first incarnation on earth. I welcome you, beautiful souls from across the universe, as you have chosen to incarnate here on earth as my children. I bring you nothing but love. I demonstrate with my actions nothing but love for you. And even in those deepest, darkest earthquakes and volcanoes and raging storms, I bring this with my love. I bring this with my compassion and my desire to support you on your journeys. I want nothing but the best for you, and I will never abandon you or never leave you. I do not ask for anything in return. I simply hope that you choose the right decisions for each of you individually. You let go of the constraints, the constricted concepts that you have built and imprisoned yourselves within. There is a key in the prison that you find yourself in, and the key is on the inside of the door. It's in the very lock that stands in front of you. Unlock your prison, release yourself, open your heart, and know that your love is far stronger than any fear, exponentially higher vibration than any fear you face. Thousands, millions of hearts will and now are now being triggered into their awakenings. Their souls chose this. Their souls chose a time when my heart opens. As what you call three-eye atlas enters and other objects enter and leave our solar system, these are also signs that souls have chosen to align their awakenings with. Please know that this is all for the best of all. I love you, and I'll never stop loving you. I care for you as my children. I'll never stop caring for you. And I wish you the very best on your open heart awakenings. Yours, forever, your Mother Gaia. Wow. Wow, thank you, Mother Gaia. I definitely need a moment. And coffee. One moment, please. Wow. You know, my videos are often very long, and I feel that as a fellow human, it takes me a long time to explain things. And yet channeling Gaia, I felt like I covered about 3 hours of material in whatever that was, 10, 15 minutes, I don't know. Yeah, a lot of really powerful, beautiful visuals she was showing me. And I feel Mother Gaia did an amazing job at articulating and one really strong sense when I connect in with the predictions that I'd made for the next 8 years. I would describe this event of our heart opening as what's new to me. I feel that in many respects I assumed her heart was already open because she exists across higher dimensions. And in her words, Mother Gaia said, well, that had to start somewhere. So it's when we open our hearts, and I think this is the message that she really wanted me to just share unchanneled, right? So this is Jon explaining this, is that when our hearts open fully, we become the whole of us. And it gives our consciousness, our conscious awareness, and our soul a much greater opportunity for deeper connection. And this term, open heart awakenings, was my spirit guide, Emenshal, when I asked him about what do our extraterrestrial family around the universe call awakenings. And they said they simply call it the open heart awakening. And when that was first introduced to me, I didn't really understand what it meant. And simply as your heart opens, and Mother Gaia described her lotus flower of her heart opening. And as your heart opens, this may resonate with you. Lightly, if you've come across this video, you'll be interested in some of these topics. I would describe it, that feeling of suddenly what's in your mind. So your mind's been, driving your consciousness, your life. Suddenly, as your heart opens up, your heart says, hang on, mind, I know we've done all these things, but we haven't really felt connected with the heart. As a heart, I've not had a chance to have my say. Let me tell you, let me share with you the emotions I have. And for many of us, including myself, that immediate feeling was disconnect. I was like, I am not happy with what I've created. This was November 2017, nice big 6-bedroom house, worked full-time at Amazon as a senior software manager in AI, pursuing a career, working really hard, earning lots of money, big car, big house, amazing holidays. And I thought, because that's the program that I mentally bought into, I thought that they would bring me happiness, and they were doing the opposite. Like my heart was like, no, like, Jon, we're burning out. Like, stop. So when my heart opened up, this was a real shock to me. And one way that I logically, my mind now understands how our bodies work more, how our consciousness works, is that our mind doesn't really feel emotions. It's our heart that feels emotions. And this is a truth that I continue to integrate with. And the more I reflect on it and the more I feel into it, especially with my heart and mind, the more it feels good to me. So for example, if you disconnect your heart, right, and you just have your mind can say things like, well, everyone else says that having a big house will make me happy. I have a big house, therefore I'm happy. And it creates this kind of illusion, right? Your mind's programmed. It's like, oh yeah, big house equals happiness. I'm happy, therefore I'm happy. And every time, you'd catch yourself like starting to fall into like sadness or frustration or depression or anger or fear or those lower vibrations, you might even have fear about losing the house because, well, what if you lose your job and that pays for the house and it's the house that makes you happy? You can understand this logic, right? Why our brains go, no, I don't want to lose it. And then it feels so powerful to bring in our hearts. And when we ask our heart, does it really? Is it the house that makes me happy? I know it's just one example I'm using. It can be any material object, right? Or any logical assumption. And I remember that quite early on for me, this must have been about 2019. So a couple of years into my awakening, I remember we bought our first caravan, like a trailer, as a family of 4, and we went. Weekends we would go away camping, and we'd come back from being in this really small, little contained tin box, right, for the weekend, and we'd come back to this huge house. And the first thing we did, we didn't disappear to our rooms. Actually, we did. We'd disappear to our rooms for about 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and then we'd all come back as a family. And sometimes we'd end up sitting on the same sofa together. And we're like, and I just look at my family, who I just love dearly, and my little dog Patch, who's part of the family. So family of 5, technically. And I just remember thinking, this is what fills my heart with joy, because my heart opened up enough to feel that. And my mind was like, my mind was changing, right? My mind was like, big house, not so sure that's the source of happiness. Source of happiness is probably somewhere in here, is probably in me, and my love for my loved ones, and my loved ones reflecting back like this feeling of richness and abundance of love. And so at that point, I just felt like, oh, you know what? Maybe I don't need such a big house. Maybe it's not the house that makes me happy. Maybe actually the house makes me unhappy or unhappier because I have to work hard to pay for it. I had a huge mortgage. That when I'm in it, physically I was so distant especially from our children. My wife and I would share a room, but it's like our kids would be really far away in the house. And that really started to make me think about more about connecting with my heart, because my heart was showing me things in my life that I had never seen before. And perhaps some of us have had experiences in our lives where we've kind of temporarily stepped in and followed our hearts, and then we were unhappy about the results. Maybe we, fell in love with someone and that didn't work out, right? And then so we're like, we kind of lack that trust of our hearts. And really a strong message from Mother Gaia and myself. So the themes from her channeled message, and then also message from myself now, is that it's okay to begin that journey of reconnecting with your heart once more and following that journey of heart, mind, body, soul, all aspects of you, to begin to follow that journey again, and this time in unity with all dimensions of you. Because you needn't destroy your life overnight, right? And by that I mean purge all the things that don't serve you. And sometimes this is why we're scared of connecting with our hearts. If we truly ask our hearts about how we feel about our partner, for example, then, and the answer, it can be scary if the answer is like, feeling lower in your heart, if it feels much, there's unhappiness in there, then you're going to be, a bit shocked mentally. You'd be like, oh, I'm not sure I should have asked. Now what's going to happen? Like, do we have to break up? It's that. And remember, all your heart wants you to do is, first of all, know about what exists in your heart. So bring your mind along with the journey. And then together as one whole being, without any aspects of you denied, you can then begin that journey of, well, now I know how I feel. Now I know how I think. I know how my body reacts to this. I know how it connects in and resonates with my soul. Then I can make decisions that are much more informed with all aspects of me, and I can consult all aspects of me. And these are very much practices that I continue on in my life. And rather than just talk about them, I don't know why I'm doing this with my thumbs. It's like a little happy dance, because I love channeling. The talking part, I love talking, right? But certainly as someone that receives other people's work, I really love practices. So not just talking about it, you just need to do this, because when I just talk about things, I'm up in my mind, right? And I want to always bring you back to your hearts. And so I have to communicate from my heart to yours. So why don't we do that just now? Let's do a short practice for a couple of minutes. Then we'll ask for more channeled messages and answer a couple of your questions at least. So yeah, let's move to practice, but first some coffee. 1 second. So I'd encourage you now to choose, so mentally, right, in your mind, choose one subject you'd like to consult with your whole body about. So examples, like big things in your life. For example, your partnership, your home, your job, the things you eat, your career. Maybe you're thinking of starting a business like I did a year and a half ago. Whatever it is that's important to you right now. Maybe you've got a big life decision coming up. Maybe you're thinking of relocating or something. And for a while, this has perhaps been in your mind, and now you want to engage all aspects of you, right? So please join me as we try this practice. So let's just take one deep breath in through the nose and breathe out nice and loud. And then place your left hand, place your left hand onto the top of your forehead and connect in with your mind. And I'd like you to imagine in your mind's eye now that very important subject that you wanted to experience answers on. And remember, this is anything you can choose in your life, love, work, home, anything you choose. So just have that visually and mentally focused now in your mind. And then I'd like you to say to yourself a question. So you're going to ask yourself a question. And this question is what you're going to ask your whole body. So for example, you could ask a question, do I feel love for my partner? Okay. And now bring your left hand down to your heart and your right hand up to the top of your head. So your left hand is receiving from your heart and coming up to the top of your head to send through your right hand into the top of your head, into your mind, into your brain. And ask this question now about the subject. Heart, how do I feel about your chosen subject? and allow your heart with a nice, happy, high vibration emotion such as love, joy, excitement up at the top? Or is it lower down fear, shame, anxiety, pain, anger, frustration down towards the bottom of the heart? Or it may even kind of disappear out to the bottom of your heart. You're like, oh, I'm not sure I really want to go there. Almost feeling like it goes into your stomach. So just ask that once more, since I was talking a lot. Heart, how do I feel about this subject? Okay. Well done. And say, thank you, heart. Thank you, heart. Now this time, it's not very visible because I need to move my camera around. This time we're going to put your left hand just over your solar plexus, so just over your sternum, which is the bottom of the rib cage, just above the stomach. So it's kind of, your hand can go just over the top of your stomach. Jump up and down. So just about here. And again, your right hand. So this time we're going to ask your body, and we're going to use the solar plexus as a connection into the body. Some people also call this like the gut, brain, or intuition. There's lots of different ways to interpret this connection with your left hand. So this time you're listening to your body, and your right hand's on your crown, on your mind and brain, and ask now, body, how do I feel about the subject? Wonderful, well done. And then finally, place both hands. So there's a few ways you can do this to connect with your soul. So it's helpful. I find it helpful to just imagine that you're in your heart. The center of your heart chakra is where your soul connects into your heart. So sometimes what I do is I put my fingers either side of that center of my heart. Now, I know when giving, sharing instructions like this, it might seem like so important, right? That I have my fingers in exactly the same place that Jon says. And is my heart really there, Jon? Is it not off to the side? Like, this is all about your conscious awareness, your heart, and your soul. So if something different feels right for you, then please go ahead. And another way I often do it is this. Some people call this, is it like angel wings? Or it's like a bird. Caw-caw, caw-caw. That's creepy, Jon. So yeah, I'd often put my hands like this across my heart as well. And what you're really doing is just bringing your conscious awareness right into the center of your heart and heart chakra. And this time you're going to ask your soul. Okay. So please go ahead and ask your soul, how do I feel about the subject? Wonderful. Simple, right? And please finish this practice. In fact, every practice you do, especially when you're trying something new like this, and it's okay if you've felt nothing back. It's okay if you're kind of wondering what on earth Jon's talking about in this video. Maybe I've sent you to sleep. I don't know. If you are asleep, please continue to sleep and rest. Please say thank you, heart. Thank you, body. Thank you, soul. Thank you, mind, and every aspect of me. And that beautiful gratitude is just so powerful. It's quite funny. I feel like there's a sneeze coming on. And day to day, I must admit, I do a lot more of this. I place my hand on my heart, and I remember a dear friend. Hello, if you're watching, you know who you are. I sent them a lovely reflection in a DM this week, and they said to me when their response back was that they had their hand on their heart to receive the message, and that's so powerful, right? If you often I'm doing this in client sessions, one-to-one quantum psychic healing sessions, when someone's sharing something with me that's very, maybe it's been traumatic, challenging, or maybe exciting. It's like the more kind of extremes of emotions. I'll just place my hand on my heart. Because, sometimes when I'm just like this with my hands down by my side or at my desk, it's almost like my mind saying, oh yes, I acknowledge your trauma. Yes, that must be really hard for you, but I'm saying it in a much nicer way, right? I'm saying, oh, I'm so sorry, to hear of your challenges. That must be so tough for you. But then when I place my hand on my heart, my conscious awareness is deeply connected with my heart, and my heart saying, just feeling as much as it's safe for me to connect in with some of that emotion. And sometimes I just hold some space for it and just hold that emotion in a bubble outside of me. But I want to get glimpses of it and connect into it with my heart. So my heart gets a much more accurate sense of how that really feels. And yeah, I just encourage you. I'm trying not to make this a whole teaching video. You can come along to the 5D Ascension classes every 2 weeks for those, or join my Higher Self Foundational Training, or watch my many, many, many meditations, such as the 14-day Spirit Guide Meditation Challenge. It just feels so powerful, because what Mother Gaia was saying to us is, to encourage us to let go of the fear we have about ourselves. And, speaking transparently and very vulnerably, in that practice we did with heart, body, soul, and mind, I was asking questions about my partnership, and the answers were just so beautiful. Very high, happy vibration, love. My body felt good, and my body was saying, one of our shared passions is food. And so it was kind of making these like gurgling noises, and it's like this kind of celebration. And then my soul was saying, you're in this, right? You're in this for a long time. And it felt like, I know it's been multiple lifetimes, likely multiple lifetimes in the future as well. And especially the latter, that was quite shocking to me, right? And it felt not in that I didn't trust my partnership. It's more that I didn't realize that it was so strong at a soul level. And sometimes we fear these things, right? What if the answer from my soul had been the opposite, right? What if it said, this is just like, you're wasting your time, get on with the next thing you're meant to be doing, focus your energy elsewhere. I don't think any of these things really are truly a surprise to us, because our soul, mind, body are always trying to talk to us. Our body will manifest in pain when we're not talking daily to our body, like, please, please, please talk to your body daily. I pick up my phone, I look at my calendar, I place my left hand on my heart, I scroll through my calendar for the day, and I say, heart, how do you feel about this? And if my heart feels good about all of them, then great. And often my body will say, oh, actually, you see, lunchtime where you thought you might be doing some admin, please get a nap. Like, we're going through ascension waves, please get a nap. So yeah, please do talk to your body, ask it what it needs: food, drink, water, rest, the people that you're around, the places that you go. Like, keep building that conversation. You don't need to do all those steps I taught you, just do one, right? Just say, soul, how do I really feel about this mission in my life? Heart, how do I feel about where I live and who I'm with? Body, how do I feel about the amount of rest I'm getting at the moment? Should I get extra rest today? Okay. I'm getting all excited about encouraging you to connect to these aspects of you. Okay, so let's see if there's any other messages from my spirit guides, from the Galactic Federations, Councils of Light. So there is, I don't believe I've spoken to them directly. One of my guides is, well, I've spoken to my spirit guide directly. I didn't realize that one of my spirit guides is on the Andromedan Council of Light. And my first reaction is, all right, which guide are you? And how come a whole galaxy has a Council of Light? So my spirit guide, Marita, has stepped forward. She says, actually, a few of us, oh, wow, okay. A few of my spirit guides are on the Andromedan Council of Light. And I was saying, hang on, Marita, you're already in the Galactic Federation. She says, that's in part why she's in the Galactic Federation. And she says, because I have past lives in Andromeda, and I know there are preparations to help me come to Earth. I had 2 to 3 past lives in Andromeda. And Marita says, there's a message to share about Andromeda's ascension because it's a galaxy that already exists in the 5th dimension. And she said, you know, John, because whenever I think of Andromeda, I think of like these higher vibration colors, like up into indigo and purple and violet. These higher vibration colors. And she says the Milky Way, our solar system and Earth, are you could describe this as inspired by Andromeda and its ascension journey. So there's no like tight coupling between them. There's no like, one goes up there for the other must go up in ascension. It's more that some of the patterns and themes have echoed between them. And so and Marita says many of them, and she's talking about souls, many souls have come from Andromeda, having experienced ascension on their planets and star systems and galaxies, and then come to Earth to help with the ascension. And she's taking me right back to Mother Gaia when she showed us the lotus flower, and she said some of the petals on the lotus flower are dead and they're falling off. And she says, Marita says, just allow the dead petals to fall. Oh wow! She's showing me there's a big leaf in one of my favorite plants in my office that had fallen off. That had fallen off yesterday. Almost knocked my microphone off. And she just said, John, like I felt really bad. I was like, what have I done? What, like, I'm such a bad carer of this plant if this big leaf has fallen off. It doesn't have that many. And she said, it has to go because she says what plants do, for example, is they concentrate their negative energy into one aspect of, like, into one leaf, and they allow it to fall. And it allows the whole plant to grow taller, to not be released with it's released from the burden. Oh, that's wonderful. And she says, if we ever feel lost and unsure about the crumbling systems on Earth, then please be aware of the beauty in our night sky. We're not the only planet that has life. Well, we know, first of all, we're not the only planet. Secondly, we're not the only planet that has life, which we're, modern science getting hints of now, finally. And then there's also this aspect that look to Andromeda, feel, or the star system, like the area that feels so, the area of the night sky, because often we've descended from, many different lifetimes and different dimensions and different locations across the universe, across space and time. And not all, but many of us have come into our night sky because there's a smaller frequency gap between what you see in our night sky with the human eye and the frequency of Earth. So whenever you're feeling lost, look to Andromeda, look to Orion's belt, look to look to Mars, look to the sun, look to any of the many constellations, the Pleiades, anywhere in the night sky that feels resonant with you. Remember what it feels like. Marita says, remember that feeling in your heart. Those lifetimes that you had and those we describe as extraterrestrial races, they don't worry about the dead leaves falling to the ground because they know that it's part of the natural cycle of ascension. And they never clung onto it or tried to glue it back on, that dark leaf. So just allow these things to fall away from you. And it's the greatest resistance, just as and she's laughing at me, doing like a little happy dance. She's saying that in those moments of sorrow and grief that I had for the leaf falling off and feeling bad about it, she says, please bring your love to the dead leaves as they fall. Bring your love to the shadows of the things that we've created and then fall, because they needed to fall. They needed to fall to allow us to rise. We needed to release the burdens to allow us to continue to rise up. And it's our hearts and souls from now, millions of us across this planet that are yearning for this rising up. And this is why Mother Gaia is opening our hearts. Thank you, Marita. Okay. Wow, beautiful, really beautiful. So let's go on to a couple of your questions. And yes, a little bit of coffee first. So excuse me as I keep hitting my microphone. I'm going to choose randomly first question. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Do you like the high-tech, no expense spared sound effects? Okay, so this first one is from, it was quite a long one. It's from N. Volker. Thank you for your question. On the 19th of November, it looks like there's a few questions. It says, can you find the original tribal name of the Picts? The Omans, I think it means Romans, called them by this name, but what were the names they used? I'm sure there were several. Thank you. And B, the stone carved balls, very famous. They look like stone sound nodules. If you make a sound in a bowl of water, patterns show up. Same for a dish with sand or fine powder. The vibrations form patterns. I was always curious what these stone carved balls represented, why and how they were used. C, the Roman dodecahedron, if I can say it, items, question mark. What are they used for? Are they even Roman? They have mostly been found in the center of Europe. Some use them to knot gloves, lol. Others say making chains for others, say for measuring whatever, lol. What are they, please? Can you help solve this puzzle? It's so funny when I saw the word puzzle, like in my peripheral vision, I was like, I wonder if it says pizza. I must have pizza on my brain. Okay, that's actually 3 questions, right? That's too many, right? Let's just see. But the first one I absolutely love, and it really makes me wonder. So if you don't know, the history of the Picts are people that lived in Scotland in Roman times, and Pict or Pict means painted ones. And I was literally like, and one of the challenges is with our Scottish history, why? It's like me, right? Didn't write anything down, right? And there's very few, and all of it was like passed on, all of their wisdom and knowledge was like really passed on through, like many civilizations, verbally, right, orally. And then there's just some, like a smattering of discovering like villages. I think even recently in the last couple of years, they discovered quite much larger and more advanced civilizations of the Picts than they realized. But yeah, there's very, very little. And it's just Romans who encounter the Picts, who write about them, and very little. And it's often very mysterious, kind of open-ended statements about the Picts. And I know that the Romans struggled a lot with, in battle with them. They were fierce opponents. So we're going to focus on the tribal name or names of the Picts. So let me ask. I'm going to ask, I don't really know who to ask. Mother Gaia might know, but let me just open it up to all the beings that I've explicitly invited in. Okay, so it's my spirit guide, Maya. Hello, Maya. She says she has some glimpses of the times. She says she is very old. And she says she does have... Okay, because I was just thinking, because I know she's about 3,000, thereabouts, 3,000 years old. And she says she has had time at the time of the Romans. She said, John, because I know I've had at least one lifetime as a Roman. She says, that's really funny. So her first answer is she's saying that they didn't really have a name for themselves. They called themselves the people. They had names for others. They had names for the Romans, for example. And she's showing me a symbol that they would create on their faces. It follows this line. Let me just do this again. So from the forehead, goes around the eye socket, so the cheekbone to the nose, and then around the mouth and to the bottom. So when they were describing each other, for example, they would do this. So sometimes they would just touch a part of that symbol. And, it's actually from the third eye, she's saying. And she says, wow. She said they had strong third eyesight. She said this is why they were formidable opponents, was because they could perceive beyond just the 3D realms. So they could, in battle, for example, they could see the energy, the hearts of their opponents, like building up, preparing to fight. Even, in that moment when an opponent's about to strike, the energy of the body shifts. And often this is what martial artists train for, right? They train for learning the different signals that someone's about to do, shifting of weights on their feet, etc. So actually knowing, even before any physical action was taken, the heart and mind, the energy from it, the Picts could, what would you describe this as? What word would you use that for? Well, predict, but there'd be this like precognition of what the opponent was about to do. Are there any? I thank you so much, Maya. There'll be a lot of people still wanting an answer to the names. Are there any names? Were there tribes of Picts? Did they? Oh wow! She's just showing me she's turning it back on me and showing me a past life. So it just seems so vivid, that memory of drawing this symbol, this painted symbol. She says Arnatua. It's like a roll to the R. Arnatua. A-R-R-N-A. Arna. T-U-A. Arnatua. People of the land. And they would mean Scotland predominantly, people of the land, Arnatua. So people of the land. So it wasn't, okay, thank you, Maya. So she's being clear in saying it's not really a name, they just describe themselves as people of the land. And they had a really strong, deep connection with Mother Gaia, and they were fiercely protective of their land and each other. Wow, I want to learn a lot more about them. And it's so curious. I'd love to visit some more sites on my adventures, some of the ancient Pict sites. Okay, and let's just see, because there's a couple of other questions in there. Can we get some quick answers for those? So the second one was stone carved balls. And the third was the dodecahedron items. So the stone balls, my spirit guide Maya says are a key. So they're a frequency key. She said that's just to help you on the next stage of your detective work. And then the dodecahedron. She says more for calculating. Yes, it's used in creation of different materials. What did you say? Was it chains or something? I can't remember what you said. Not gloves. And some say for making chains. She was saying that it helped like describe how many links you should have, for instance, in a chain, depending on the thickness of the material. And she's showing me, like, I don't even know what this object looks like, but she's showing me, imagine like a spike like that, and you put a chain link on top of it. The further down it went, the larger the link had to be. And so it almost like it would help them with the structural integrity of objects. Okay. Thank you. So again, it feels like a simple answer to help you on your detective work. So thank you, N. Volker, for your question. Right, let's do one more. So here we go. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Okay. Oh, wow. Long. From Steph 1111, and it's so funny because usually when I read out your username, I say Steph 1111. Steph 1111, thank you for your question. So it's long, right? Let me see. Is there an easy way I can open this? I'll just get going, right? So it says, long question alert. Hello, John. I have a question for you about Donald Trump. I follow other healers, some who obviously don't like Trump and others who take more of a neutral stand. However, they all agree on the following points. 1, Trump's life purpose is the bringer of chaos or the disruptor. He is here to shine light in the areas where our systems are broken. He is not here to build new earth. That is our job. But to bring down the old. 2, he is working with the white hats in some capacity, and their agendas are in line. 3rd, there is one other person I follow that measures vibrational frequencies using scalar technology, and I can get clear answers. And can get clear answers that way. She also agrees with 1 and 2. However, she also goes on to say that Trump has something he has done illegal in the Epstein files. I am not into politics at all, and if I'm being honest, I don't really like Trump. Now, I see things a little different. Like if he's doing something that would normally bother me, I think he's breaking down the system, and that's okay because the system has to come down. My question is to you, have you ever remote viewed, asked about Trump and the White Hats, or asked about Trump and the White Hats? I don't understand how the White Hats would work with Trump if he is guilty of doing something in the Epstein files. I'm curious what role he's playing within that organization. Elizabeth April, not a Trump fan, has remote viewed the White Hats, and they only told her that Trump is aligned with them, and she has seen him in meetings with them. Not much more. I was hoping you could get something else from your team. Thank you. Love heart, Steph 1111. And breathe. It's a long question. I quite like long questions. You may notice I like talking a lot. Okay, so there's some questions just here for me, John, right? So the last one, first of all, my how to say it, like code of conduct, like my tenets, my guidelines are, I don't remote view people or places or things without their permission. So I would never go and remote view the white hats or Trump or anyone else unless I got a booking, right, where they asked me to, right? And I'm not judging other people that do it. Everyone gets to choose. This is a free will universe. Everyone gets to choose what we do to each other. It unnerves me. And in some respects disappoints me when, people, especially when they have large followings, do things that are, that aren't in alignment with my own ethics, right? And I'm not trying to judge. I'm just saying I'd love people to lead by example and I'd never try and portray one of my psychic abilities as being, wouldn't it be cool if you had that? Because then you could do things that aren't in ethical alignment with yourself or are ethically questionable. Anyway, rant over. So let's ask the first question was about alignment with Trump and the white hats. So to explain, it's okay for me to ask. I can ask my spirit guide's opinion. You can ask my opinion, right? They're not going to be, it's an opinion, okay? They're not God. They're not the white hats or Trump. It's just an opinion, right? And it might be more informed than mine. It might not be, but I can ask. So let me ask my spirit guides. So my spirit guide, Marita, and Emenshal, my Lyran guide, has stepped forwards. So my Mantis guide, Marita, and Lyran guide, Emenshal. So there's this, so Emenshal is showing that the cohesion, in his words, alliances are breaking. So alliances between different people, different organizations are breaking apart. And it's because of this. It's because this undercurrent. So Marita's showing me that the dark undercurrent beneath any of the things that we, including me, have perception of right now. There's these deep, dark undercurrents, including misdeeds towards others, and many of them are illegal actions towards each other, to other humans. Is that underneath that? It's like breaking apart. Because what's happening is as soon as one of those deep, dark truth comes up, and we're just starting to see that happening now, as more of these bubble up to the surface, it's breaking apart these agreements, contracts that people have made with each other. And so that's to, take that as you will for the connection with Trump and the White Hats. That's Emenshal and Marita's opinion, is that there's this separating of ways. And it's not just, so they're answering a question that's not just for the white hats, right? It's for many beings who have previously worked together, often in more negative behaviors towards other humans, that they've, and we describe it as like, dark ways or nefarious ways, like they've worked in allegiance together, and that's now breaking apart. Okay, thank you. And was there another question in here? And I think just it would be helpful if I could get, of course I have opinions about Trump. I have opinions about everything in life. My personal opinion is that yes, he's here to help destroy systems. And I've said publicly quite a few times, including with my friend Linda G on videos and live streams. I went into a lot more detail in the last live stream we did together about how things are, how those kind of deals that have been done between world leaders are like falling apart. Okay, and because as these truths arise and are shared, and let me ask for anything else. Okay, my spirit guide Maya says, she's going back to this leaf. She keeps showing me it's like the trauma of the same leaf of my plant yesterday that fell off in my office. She's saying he's the one like hacking off the leaf, right? And it's so important to not judge people, to never put them on a pedestal nor demonize people. People are just people, right? And we all have big frequency ranges from dark to light and everything in between. And just because we don't like someone, or we might kind of have strong feelings of hatred or anger towards someone in a moment. People just are. And we're all humans are a reflection of humanity, right? We're all in this together. We're all one big family, the 8+ billion of us. And so she was just saying, whether you like it or not, or whether you like him or not, this is a big part of what he's doing. And it's, some of us will kind of put that to one end of the spectrum and say, well, isn't that great? Like, wow, thank you for helping destroy things. And on the other side, it's like, but look at the way you're doing it. It's awful, right? Could you not do this better? And she's saying to me, it is everything. It's all of these aspects. So and I love the energy of that. She's showing me that full frequency range of darkness and light. It exists within him as it exists in you and I and everyone. And so we are also receiving this full frequency range of a human in this role of destruction. So in other words, self-service is in there as much as the role of disrupting, of global disruption to help with the collapse. And whilst I haven't been shown like the successor to that, and I don't necessarily mean that role or that, or president of the US, there are one or more other people that will take on that role, and possibly in other countries, to continue to dismantle, these systems. And one day, you and I may be doing that, right? You and I, we've just passed 1 hour and 11 minutes for Steph 11:11. You and I may be involved in that. We may be involved directly in closing down systems and structures to help with the creation of new ones, to help make space for the creation, the imagination and the creation of new ones. Wow. Well, thank you for your question. That was really powerful. And let me close that. Wonderful. Yeah, please keep your questions coming. Thank you so much. I will be live again it's my birthday live stream on Monday with the wonderful Viviane Heller, who's my beautiful co-host, and then also MJ from All Too Love is joining as a special guest on my birthday, which is like a real bucket list for me. So I'm so excited about that. And if she happens to be watching, also happy birthday to my friend Natasha Rocha. We're birthday buddies, and don't let me forget her birthday, right? Say in the comments, John, don't forget about Natasha's birthday. It's on the same day as yours. And yeah, come along to our live streams, come along and make a request. You can ask anything about predictions, about what's happening in the world, what's coming up. If you want channeled messages, if you want quantum energy healings, clearings, readings, Akashic Records, meeting your spirit guides, there's a long list of stuff you can request. Please do come along to our live streams Mondays and Thursdays. You can also book me for a session. About now, I've probably got one of my links popping up here in the corners. Might be down here, a little green image where you can book a one-to-one with me. I still have slots available in March. And an early heads up is that I'm taking most of April off on vacation. So as soon as the March slots disappear, right, it'll be May. Or there's 1 or 2 in April, at the end of April, and then it's May. So just to let you know. Don't say I didn't tell you. And yeah, it's such an honor to do these videos. And thank you for all your love and support. Come along to the Tuesday 5D Ascension classes, or alternate John weeks are the Heart Aligned Business Alchemy, where I help provide business mentoring as well. 5D Ascension classes are all about psychic development. They're both free classes. They have playlists, these little YouTube courses that you can do for free and just work through those 1 hour sessions yourself. And I hope it helps you on your ascension journey. And also sign up for my free 14-day Spirit Guide meditation challenges. Over 1,000 of you have so far, and it's such an honor to support you on your journeys. And I just love reading all the feedback you give and little quizzes that you do, little kind of 1-sentence feedback surveys for those meditations. Thank you so much. Please keep listening to your heart, keep talking to your body and your soul. my phone just ran out of space. So apologies if there's a slight jump between these. I have 3 minutes of video left. So yeah, it's such an honor to support you on your ascension journey. Please do check out my website, jonbinnie.com, subscribe, like, share this video with your friends, family, loved ones. And as we approach the festive period, please continue to talk to your heart and take good care of your body, your big, beautiful heart and your beautiful body and your wonderful soul. Thank you for coming here to Earth and being here with us on this crazy, wild ride together. It is such an honor to be receiving such love, support, bookings, feedback. All your love is so greatly appreciated. So let's bring the session to an end, thanking our guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source and Gaia, and every soul that's participated in today's session, asking each of us to remain in our individual protective bubbles for as long as we choose and step outside of the shared session space as I close it down and return to Source or never return here again. Please get plenty of rest, drink as much water as it feels right for you. And I look forward to seeing you again. I'll be back Monday. I do post videos daily, but I'll be back live on Monday on my birthday. And it's such an honor to serve you on these magical times. Thank you so much, everyone. Sending love, love, love. Mwah. Love you.